Order filled.
Oh no.
Order filled.
No sound. Can anybody hear me? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Good. No, now. Hold on okay, can anybody hear me now? No, no. 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 Okay, can anybody hear me now? No, okay, can anybody hear me now? No, can anybody hear? Let me just. Okay, can anybody? Right. Okay, let's try now. Can anybody hear me now? This is crazy. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, brilliant. Okay. Sorry, but I don't know what happened there. Something went a bit crazy. I don't know. Anyway, clear voice. Brilliant. Okay. Right, let's start from the top. Okay, I did see a trade there. I took that trade, went for 2 points. So that's sorted. So let me just go through these. Someone asked me a question. Okay, Brant, did you log into Rhythmic? When did I? I logged in 15 minutes ago. You were having issues today. To be honest with you, it stuck on 7 seconds for about a minute. So I shut it down and reopened it, and it opened the second time. So just have a check, mate. Sometimes it can be a bit temperamental. So have a look. No, it's crazy. That's good. Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, much better. Brilliant. Okay. So, I was looking at this. I like this. I was looking on the NQ. We've had let's just have a quick flick on it. We had that leg down. We had a break. We had 2 pushes down to a new low. We had a push up, 2 legs down, a push up, 2 legs down. It was stalling around here. We had a higher low and it started pushing up strong. So I took that higher low for 2 points. So that's a good start. So let's just say hello to everyone quickly. James, how you doing? H, how are you? Chris, how you doing, buddy? Sorry, James. Sorry, Chris. My mistake. Brant, how you doing, pal? Bill, Gil Bates. You got to change that round. You got to change that name round. That's just going to confuse the hell out of me. That is. Yeah. Okay. Jay, how you doing, bud? Kanan, how are you? Salvatore, Jay, Lance, Apex has improved my. That's brilliant. It crossed my mind over the weekend, actually. That's good news. I don't know why they've started doing that, whether they've always done that and it's just sort of, you know, maybe I just haven't heard of it, but I don't know. But, you know, sometimes, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you're patient and you're polite and you let them know, you're the second person I've heard ever happen to. And you and the other guy both got approved. So that's good news. It is a little bit scary. I absolutely agree, because, you know, if you're like me, you've put a ton of money into Apex, and the one time you start to earn it, they start to question it. And I absolutely, I understand your frustration there. So that's good news. I've sent them my strategy. I guess that's great, but now know exactly how I trade, which they didn't. All good, brilliant. I'm pleased about that. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I just think they're just trying to weed out people that just might be taking the piss a bit. You know what I mean? Because people will do. You can guarantee it. So that's good news anyway. So I'm pleased for you, mate. That's good news. So hope everyone had a good weekend. I believe the market was open yesterday. I had a quick look on something. Was it Bookmap or something? There was very little movement anyway, so I just carried on with the day off. So all good. So hopefully now we can start as we mean to go on. So let me just put a little note there. So let's call that a high or low. So HL plus 2 points. I did consider holding to the highs, but the trouble is, the one time I'll decide to hold, it'll come out and sting me. So I kind of like that. We've got this leg down, we've got a break, 2 pushes down to a new low. We've got another little channel, we've had a break, new low, another little channel, 2 legs down. So we've come off the bottoms. We've made 2 attempts to go lower, and then we pushed up. Nice solid bullish bar there. Nice high low. Was looking really. We'd had 2 nice legs down there. You can see it starting to hold there. That bullish bar triggered, it didn't get stopped out, and once we started pushing up, I jumped in there for that higher low, so that worked nice. So, by the way, current stream is for... Oh, is it? Okay. Maybe I didn't change it. Yeah, I probably didn't. I'll change it after, so at least if anybody wants to have a little look later. Why didn't I can't remember what happened now, but I didn't mark up my chart for some reason. So whether I've right, okay, that's probably why things have gone wrong, I think. Okay, yeah, good point anyway. So I keep saying so, don't I? Right, let's see how we get on today. So I've adjusted my chart a little bit, as you can see. I'm forever pulling the NQ in, so it makes sense. I might as well just leave the damn thing here. And I've added these as well, so you know, if anyone's interested, they could see my balance in my PA accounts, and they could see my daily profit. So it's a nice 400 minus fees up for the day. So technically, if I finished on that, I would be over the moon. So and I've got the NQ. It is playing a big part in my trading. It really is. And it just helps sort of back up my decision making. You know, we'd had sort of 2 legs down here. We touched this a few times, and we had that higher low there, and it was pushing up strong. The good thing about this NQ is it does tend to move a little bit quicker than the ES. So when that starts to move quick, the higher low looked appealing then. So in we got, and we comfortably got out. It went where it was supposed to. So we got no news today. Yeah, I'll change that stream J later, so that might be why we had a couple of hiccups. So, well, I've been out this morning looking round, looking round a couple of car dealerships, trying to give myself some motivation. I went round Mercedes and Land Rover, looking at the Velars, and they're a big favourite of mine, those Velars. So I'm just trying to give myself a little bit of inspiration, just a little bit of boost. So just quickly, just dragging in the daily. There is a obviously depends what happened here, but there is a possibility of sort of 2 legs down, maybe a second entry long on the daily. So it'd be interesting to see what happens today, whether we get a drop excuse me, followed by a push up. because we've come off right from the top, which is good. We've had one leg down, we've pushed up, and we've had a second leg down. So it'll be interested to see where this closes by the end of the day. Speedy, how you doing, my friend? So, Chris, I'm more motivated by fears. I feel differently lately. I feel like I've been on I don't know if you guys know what a seesaw is, don't you? Seesaw. I know you US guys, things are quite different over there, but a seesaw is like a kid's play toy they get in kids' parks. I don't know if I'm explaining to you. It's just like a bar with a pivot in the middle, and then there's two seats either side, and it just goes up and down. I feel like my I mentioned that the other day, didn't I? I feel like my confidence level and belief in my trading is grown over the last month or two, and the psychological side, the anxiety, is decreased a little bit. So I feel I'm now on that pivot point where I'm starting to grow to the next level. So I kind of like where I am at the moment. I've just got no desire to jump in and trade. I'm quite happy sat there patiently and waiting for a good setup. So that's a really good sign. So I'm feeling I'm in a good place at the moment. Now, some of you might be ahead of me and you might know how I feel, and you might be at that level where you're now starting to get somewhere. And obviously some of you are probably where I am, and some of you are probably behind me. But there is hope. As long as you just stick at it. I'm a big believer in you can do anything you want as long as you just keep working at it. So we've got a channel down here with a break. Now I'm just going to put that in there and find out where this... see, you can put that there, or you could put that... I mean, so we've got that leg down, pull back, new low. You'd probably tend to put that here, I think I would. So there is a possibility of it's hard to say, yeah. There's a bit further to go than on this NQ. I need a bigger screen. I'm tempted to buy a bigger screen. In fact, I was looking at the weekend at I got one 27-inch monitor and three 24-inch monitors. I was looking at a 32-inch curved screen from LG. It'll just give me that extra sort of, I'm reckoning about 3 inches to the side and 3 inches on top. So I might treat myself. Hey Rodian, how you doing, mate? So I guess you're into Wednesday already, aren't you? I'm guessing. You've got a 42-inch, have you really? Which is good for my... Yeah. My eyes are okay. I wear glasses just to drive and stuff. But sort of, and read a little bit, but it's not so bad. I think it's more for me that I want a full screen on the ES, but I also want that in my eye line. So if I do, obviously, I think this is 27-inch. If I go out 5 inches, it goes up from the corner up, doesn't it? So it goes 5 inches out, which will probably give me somewhere around about 3 inches extra. So I like having this on here as well, because I know some of you guys trade both, or some of you guys trade the NQ. So it's useful for me, and if it helps you guys out as well. But it could just do with being a bit bigger, really. I can live with this size, but I'd like this to be bigger. But what I don't want to be doing is have it on the screen ahead, and I'm bringing it in every 2 minutes. So, you know, my sight from my monitor now, about what, 2 foot and a half, 1.75 foot, 2 foot away from my monitor. But we are going to get a new TV. I want a 65-inch, one of those LG OLEDs for the living room. We've got a 55-inch Samsung 4K curved at the moment, so I was thinking about bringing that upstairs, but I believe a 55-inch flat screen is the equivalent of 4 27-inch monitors. So it's only really giving me what I've already got. Now, I obviously could extend something, couldn't I? So that might be an option. So I could always bring that in. The trouble is, when you're streaming, I've got this one on the left, which is which monitors YouTube. I've got the one top left, which is my OBS. I've got this screen that you see, and above me I've got my Replicanto 10,000 tick chart, and so I am using all 4 monitors. So it would be nice just to have a little bit of extra space. I could put one, I have got a spare one that I could put sort of on its end, if you like. I had 3 27-inch, but now I'm just using 1 27-inch. 5K, really? And a laptop screen. I noticed that more screens didn't help me. No, I just like a bigger screen. So, I mean, you guys see what I've got at the moment. I'm looking at this on a 27, but this is a bit small for me. This is okay. I prefer this. I prefer the ES the same size as the NQ. But I also want these two on here. It's important to have these, the orders, the positions, and positions tab in Rhythmic as well. So if anything goes wrong, I like the fact that it's all there, that I can look back, and I can prove to Apex if something does go wrong. So I'm just wondering whether this is a bit of a range. Let me have a look. I'm wondering whether this is a bit of a range and this is going to come back in. It's hard to say at the moment. What's the NQ doing? I would say the NQ looks more like it's starting to move up. I'd like to see some trap shorts there. Now we've closed above the EMA, so I'm guessing. I mean, there is a leg and a leg. Trouble is, there's quite a few bottoms down here, so I don't really want to go short into that. So if it does come down, then so be it, but I won't be going short. I have a feeling, though, this is going to go back into this. Now, that bar there actually is a second entry short, but it's triggered. It's hard to say. It may come down, but this looks like it may just be bottoming, so I'm not a massive fan. When it's done that quite a few times, it could trigger it and push back in. I mean, it could come down, who knows? But I don't like it, especially when we've had this channel. We've had one attempt to go lower, second attempt. We've made a bunch of attempts to go lower. So for me, this is just a bit risky going short. You trade on your laptop? Yeah, see, I've got my computer. I actually built it. I'd never done it before. I fancied the challenge. And it's a Ryzen 7. I think it's a 3700X. It's the graphics card is it's an NVIDIA, isn't it? GeForce 2060, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and it did all good quality components. So what I was tempted to do was to upgrade at some point. Well, I say upgrade, add an extra computer, so buy a laptop at some point. So one, I've got a backup computer, and two, I'm mobile if I need to be. And I like the fact that I can get NinjaTrader on and Rhythmic on that other laptop. So if something does go amiss, I mean, if my computer all of a sudden goes tits up in a blink of an eye, I'm kind of screwed. You know, you lose a couple of days of trading, and you can. I mean, well, I'm up $400 today, so you know, a couple of 3 days of that, and you've paid for the price of a laptop. I put my PC together myself, Ryzen 5700 RTX 32 GB RAM. Yeah, I bought good quality stuff. They do last better, don't they? They do last long. Mine's, I forget what the motherboard is, but it's a good quality motherboard. It's a gaming motherboard. Gaming computers seem to be about right for trading computers, don't they? I mean, you may go a bit OTT on a graphics card. You don't need nothing spectacular graphics card, but I have noticed graphics cards have come down dramatically in price because of the price of electric's gone up. But Ryzen's they're a really good processor. I did a bit of research before I chose Ryzen over Intel. But I think the next one I'll go for is the 9. I have several PAs on NinjaTrader Apex, but now I've started to build PAs for Trader 8 and TopStep, so I can use a Mac. Yeah, I've got a Mac. It's an older Mac though. It's 2013. It's a MacBook Pro. But that's well, in fact, I started to trade with NinjaTrader because I put a copy of Windows on it, so you can just flick from one to the other. I know some people use parallels, but I used what did I do? I can't remember what I did anyway, but I can just flick over to it. But I know I excuse me, I have my mobile and my wife and daughter's mobile through Sky, and you can also buy things sort of monthly interest free, you know, like Apple Watches and Macs as well. I think there's the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Is it the M3 Pro? It's supposed to be mega quick, really powerful. I got to say, I do like Mac, but the trouble is, if you know, up until when I started trading, I don't generally use software for anything. So I really like Mac. We have a Mac PC downstairs, and my daughter's had a MacBook Pro, and I had a MacBook Pro, slightly older ones. But the trouble is, once you start using certain software like trading software, they're not always compatible. TopStep is very good. Still have some bugs, it seems. Trouble. I did fork out £1,000 actually for the NinjaTrader license. So I know I was going to talk to some of you guys as well. What I want to start doing later in the year is if things go as well as I think they're going to this year, I want to start building my own account as well and start to trade that. Do any of you guys trade your own account at the same time as prop firm accounts? I know you can do it, but I'm not sure how. You do, yeah? Do you use your own license or do you use Apex? Because I think it's useful to start filtering a little bit over to my own account and just, you know, trading that sort of slowly alongside. But I don't know how to use your own. And you can trade with Apex fine, can you? My own, yeah, okay. That's interesting. So I'm going to do a little bit of YouTubing over the weekend. Your own, yeah. Okay, yeah, I've got the lifetime license. It makes sense, doesn't it? But I'm assuming you use your own license, but you just connect Rhythmic the same, do you? Because obviously you've got to use Rhythmic, haven't you? Or have you? I think you have. You connect first to Apex, then connect to your live account. So you can trade them all. You can trade copy the lot at the same time, can you? That's good news. Because I think it's nice to do your own account as well and slowly let that sort of grind away in the background, because, you know, in the future, as well as... No, oh, you can't trade copy. Oh, that's a shame. So you can only trade copy Apex. I got you. Okay. Yeah. See, the bit that concerns me about Apex is, are these prop firms going to be around forever? I don't think there's much in the way of regulation with them at the moment, is there? So it does concern me if we start to get... I know, especially in the UK now, we're starting to get a lot more regulation in the crypto space. So it does concern me that prop firms, because there probably is some unscrupulous prop firms out there, and if enough people start to complain, usually they'll start to look into You know, certain regulations. I don't know what it's like in the US. I know we're getting stricter here. I did read something this afternoon, earlier on this morning, that something's coming into place in 6 months here in the UK where it's going to be a lot more regulated. So, let's see what's going on here. Now I wonder whether we are going to have a bit of a push up. Now that to me looks like we've more or less that measure leg, so leg and a leg. We've had a small trend channel, we've had a couple of pushes up and a new low, so we could potentially move up. I'm not taking anything yet. Okay. There may be a trap there, but we've made 3 attempts to go higher, so I'm just going to sit tight. I misunderstood what you meant. You can trade both live account and Apex. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what I'd like to do. Maybe just put a couple of thousand into my own account and just trade one contract and just let it sort of tick away in the background and forget about it and just let it start to build. Yeah, I'm just sitting tight at the moment because we've pushed up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I'm wondering whether this is looking like it could come down some more. That bullish bar there has just triggered just on the NQ, so it may, I don't know, it is pushing up, it may just come down, so okay. Yeah, I did look at that. Trouble is though, we've been up a few times, so you don't know whether it's just going to trigger, you know, take that out and then drop back under. BJ, how you doing, buddy? Beware of false breaks out. Yeah, I tend to not take breakouts so much. I'm going to put that there because if I put the range down here, someone's going to say, "Why the hell did you say that one?" At the time, we seem to have a little bit of a range there, but okay. So interesting. Yeah, so if you went long above there thinking you were going to trap some shorts and we are going to put up, it triggered you and then dropped. So I tend to just stay away from this one. I wouldn't have gone long there. I wouldn't go short there either at the moment because, I mean, we could push up, we could do either or, to be honest. I wonder. There is a possibility, actually. Yeah, I think there's a possible downtrend there. I think that looks not too bad. It's fitting very nice at the bottom. So that would make sense while we're coming down again. So we pushed down. We've made 3 attempts to go high, but we had a new low there, so I didn't want to go short again. So yeah, there is a possibility of a downtrend. What we've been doing the last couple of days. So we've had a possible leg and a leg. Let's have a look. So there and there. In fact, if we've got a leg and a leg, there is a possibility that that may turn. Sorry if I'm mumbling a bit. I'm just thinking aloud. So I kind of like that. So we'll just keep that there for now. So touch, a few touches there. Some lovely touches there. So we come down, a couple of legs up, come down, push up sideways, bit of a break, drop again. So it does seem like there is a bit of a downtrend at the moment. There is a lower high there. Trouble is, yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, I looked at that lower high there, but it is just a bit sideways, and there does seem to be a bit of support there. So I have a little piece of paper, well, a piece of laminated paper that says taking a trade, look left. And you can't deny there that there is a bit of a range there, and we could have had just a failed breakout, so you don't know whether it's going to trigger you and push up to the top. In this case it worked, but I would probably tend to hold back on that personally, because we've had a bunch of touches there, so a little bit of a failed breakout. You don't know whether it's going to trigger you, come down a tick or two, and then turn back to here. So that for me is just a little bit of a no-go at the moment. So how are we looking on the NQ? Pretty bearish. So. It's just a bit small. This I could do with this being a bit bigger. Okay, so that did work, but it's irrelevant really. Going short into that, especially as we've just dropped below that line there and pushed back up. So you just don't know whether it's going to trigger that and then turn into a higher low from this and push back to the top. So for me, that was a little bit risky. I'm already $400 up from these 3 PAs, so the next trade I want to take, if I take one today, needs to be a good one. So we've made a matching double bottom there. So leg down, leg down. Let me just look at this again. Trouble is, it does spend so much time going sideways, this market, so you don't know whether we're going to push up. We may end up in a range there all over. You just don't know really. So I took that double bottom, but only went for a 1.5. I think it was a small risk as well, wasn't it? So yeah. I mean, in all honesty, you could say there's a little channel there with a break and a new low. So yeah, it was a pretty small risk, wasn't it? So if you went a tick below it and a tick above 1.75 points, that's not bad. Okay, so leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Trouble is, I don't really want to, if that comes bearish, I don't really want to be going short into there. Not with that candle anyway. Yeah, 10,000 tick chart. Looks like we're in a downtrend. We're fitting nice along there, so could be one leg up, two legs up to here before we come down some more. So we could go a bit higher before we go short. Based on the looking at the 10,000 tick chart, we could come up a bit higher. So look at this. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Overall bias looks bearish. Agreed. Let's see if EMA holds and we make further lower highs higher low. Then I trust the bigger picture. Yeah, I agree. It's looking bearish. The NQ is as well. So we've had trouble is when we had that double bottom, we could push a bit higher, or we could turn. You just don't know. I mean, there's always that possibility. There's always that possibility that we could end up just being in a bigger range. You don't quite know. Okay, this is a bit congested. It is a second entry short, and I like the way that price has been held below there, but at the moment, it's not for me. I just don't like the way it's triggered and already started to move up, but yeah, you're right, it's congestion, so trouble is it may work, but in all fairness, it's not the best place to take a short. Well, it is, but the fact that it's congested, it is a second entry short. We are in a downtrend, and it probably work, but it is congested, so it could just sting you there. I can't tell you how many times I've lost trades like that. So you do get used to seeing this and something just doesn't seem right. It's a bit clogged and the way that's pushing up. You may get stung. Let's have a look. Yeah, you're going to for sure, I think. Context is good. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not because of this. I mean, we get the idea that it's a second entry short, but it is a bit clogged up, isn't it? If we do get below this bar here, then we may come down. But the trouble is we've just come off a double bottom there, so you just don't know whether we're going to push up, go a bit sideways, and then push up again and maybe sort of retest the bottom of this. Well, it's funny, actually. If this continued to go like that, it would retest the bottom of this range and the top of the downtrend. But it is congested there. It does look like there's some traps appearing. I mean, if you went short there, you're in this trade at the moment. If you went long there, you're in this trade at the moment. So it could just do anything, really. It really could. Just because we're coming down and price is holding there doesn't mean it's going to continue. It just... I mean, these charts have got a habit of triggering out a short and then dropping like a stone. So it's just too risky, that is. Absolutely. Absolutely. While it's doing this, there's nothing you can do, really. It really could go on. I mean, look at this. You think, yeah, we've triggered it, stopped out the shorts. Yeah, let's jump in. And all of a sudden, look at that. The NQ looks like it may come up and retest the tops. But the trouble is, if you take that short, and I've done it before, it'll trigger you and stop you out. If you don't take it, it drops like a stone. It's really, really... It does seem like you're being washed. It does seem like every decision you make is being monitored. And the time you do nothing, it drops like a stone. And then when you take it, it triggers you and stops you out. But it's looking bearish on the NQ, I will say. There is a sort of a lower high there. But we've obviously touched this area 3 times now. So I think it will push through. It is looking bearish, but you just can't trade anything here, really. If it does break this and come down, then we definitely seem bearish. But my thought process has definitely changed over the last few months. I really slowed down and realised if I could have one trade a day, if you offered me one guaranteed trade a day, I would snap your hand off. Forget 2 or 3, it doesn't interest me. If we're lucky and we get it, then great. But if I can take one trade a day, you can make an absolute stack of money from that. And I got to say, when you do start trading, you haven't been trading long, you're taking 4, 5, 6, 7 trades a day and some. You really don't need it. Much better just to wait for one good trade a day. And if you're lucky and you get 2 really good ones, then happy days. On the rare occasion, maybe 3, but I'm more than happy with 1, I really am. So on the NQ, we do seem to be struggling to break below there. If you look at this, we've come off the bottom. We've come a little bit further off the bottom there, and we've come a bit further still. So I'd like to see a push up here, maybe at least to retest the tops of this channel. Whether it happens or not is a different matter, but okay, this looks like it's coming down some more. Yeah, see, it worked. But to be honest with you, you really don't want to be trading that like that. Absolutely not. You're going to get stuffed 50% of the time there. You just don't know. It may trigger you, come up, stop you out, and then drop like a stone. It's got a bit of doing that, the markets have. But it does seem to be working in a nice trend. So we've got this leg down. Whether you take it from there or not, I have gone from here. But you just can't trade that. But the desire to, when you're sort of newer, it's very hard to resist. Can't tell you how many times I've just jumped in. You almost go onto autopilot. I did pick up I've had a new book delivered this morning, Trading Price Action Trends by Al Brooks. Thought I'd have myself a read. Good book, yeah. I don't know about yours, but the flipping words are small, I gotta say. They're tiny. Yeah, I don't think you can ever not educate yourself enough, can you? I mean, he's the sort of godfather of modern day price action. I think Max stems from him. He might have just tweaked it his own way, but I think you could do a lot worse than to read a book by Al Brooks. Okay. There is a guy named Thomas Wade, who has done some good YouTube videos on price action. Yeah, I've been watching him on and off for a couple of years now. In fact, it's funny you should mention that. I watched one of his trades, one of his live trades he recorded, or live trading sessions he recorded from 2 years back. And even 2 years, he was a very different trader. He took a trade that I wouldn't because it looked like a trap and he got trapped in it. And then he took another one straight after, which looked like a little bit of revenge trading. So when I was watching him, I was thinking, God, that seems a little bit like me a few months ago. But yeah, he's a nice guy, Thomas Wade is. But yeah, I like looking back on some of... If you're ever bored, go back and look at some of Mac's old videos where he put some of his trades on there. Very different from what he does now. I've seen him move his stop. He used to move his stop 2, 3 or 4 ticks away. So he used to do things a lot different. So I kind of like watching, going back and looking at people. And yeah, I was watching one from Thomas Wade from 2 years ago. But it just goes to show how he's developed over the last 2 years. So it's interesting. But yeah, he's a nice guy, actually, Thomas Wade. There's someone else I watch as well, who I like. Who else? The Penguin guy. I don't know if you've seen the Penguin guy as well. He's a very good trader. He started with Mac's system and just sort of developed his own way of doing it, which is very similar, but it's slightly more exaggerated moves he goes for. I have been part of Wage to Score group for some time. He's very good with good knowledge. I would recommend. Yeah, definitely. I think he's been trading for about 8 years, so he has put some time into it. Do you have to pay to be part of the Discord or not? Discord. I think someone told me even Marco was in his group. I don't know whether that's true or not. Oh, he is. Interesting. Okay. So is it free to join the Discord? Is it? And you are part of the account. Oh, okay. You get access. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. $35 a month. Interesting. I wonder whether there's a separate little channel here. Leg. See if we can get a second entry short mode. I'd like to see 2 legs up to here. We've come off the top there, which is interesting. See if we can get a lower high here. I like the fact that we've come almost right down to the bottom, which is interesting. I am not a member now. I got to a point where I am trading solo, except from following you. Yeah. I think if you know enough, I don't necessarily think you need it, do you? If you understand, I mean, I did a year with Mac, and then I had a break for 6 months, and then did another year because I thought I want to go back over the basics again. But I think if you know enough to trade and make money, you'll naturally just develop as you carry on, as you sort of continue to trade. I'm just wondering if this. I was just wondering whether that was going to trigger and then come down. Trouble is, it could push up that. Let's see. Maybe a failed second entry long. We'll see. We've pushed up to the top of this, and then we retested it again. Now I don't just want to take that. I'd rather wait for the failure. Depends on how it finishes, of course. Okay, there is a lower high there. Something about this I'm not a massive fan of. I'd like to see a bigger leg up here. It may work, but I'm just going to sit tight there because I think that might be a bit of a trap. It is a lower high, but to me, something just, I don't like it. Right, break. Back-to-back dojis, yeah. I mean, it might work, but I don't like the fact that it went back there is too close for comfort. Excuse me a second. Okay, excuse me for just a second. Sorry about that. Oh dear me. So, what is going on here? There's a possible failure there. I just don't like this at the moment. I'd like to see it push towards the top of there. See, there is a failure there, but for me, it's just too far from the EMA on the ES. So, I mean, that could go up and stop that out. It might not. It might go down, but I just don't like this area at the moment. It's a bit congested. You just don't know. It looks like it's testing the top of that line, so it could push up. So if you got into any of those trades there, the lower high, the failure, I think you're going to get stuffed here. It's a bit sideways and a bit congested, but we've had a leg up. It looks like a couple of legs back. So it could go up or down here. So does look like it's testing top of that line. There's quite a few shorts in that trade. There'll be some shorts there probably, so there's some traps here. I think that's going to push up and take out any possible stops there. Here it is. So leg and a leg. Let's see what happens when we get to this top. So there may have been some traders took that failure there, but for me it's just congested. Yeah, it may work. Little channel break, lower high possible. Yeah, failure didn't trigger out the lower high. Triggers you, up we go. See what happens if we. Now we're sort of testing this line now. So a measured leg. I've all of a sudden not become a fan of this channel. We're hitting the bottoms nice, but we're coming away there. So excuse me a second. Okay, folks, I'm going to have to finish. My daughter's just come in and told me my wife's broken down up the road. So she's called out the RAC to pick her up, and I'm just going to go up and pick her up. So there's just my one trade. I apologise about that, cutting it early. But that's it for today. So my apologies. I'm just going to have to nip out. So I'll be back here same time tomorrow. So if you carry on trading, best of luck. Apology for cutting it short a little bit, but I'm in with one trade today, quick $400 over those 3 accounts. So I'll be back same time tomorrow. So I appreciate the comments. Best of luck. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will, you too. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.